Philadelphia Eagles got back on track with a much-needed 31-0 blowout win against the Raiders on Sunday. Jalen Hurts rebounded from his 4-interception game a week ago by throwing 3 touchdowns and no turnovers. The win snapped a 3-game losing streak and was Philly's first shutout in 7 years. Here's Hurts on his performance.
Everybody's watching. It just comes with it. And it hasn't changed. I think everybody needs to remember where I come from and how I'm built. So I just want to lead in the right way, set the right example. I've done the same thing since I went to the University of Alabama, and everything that's been in front of me, so it's no different now.
Okay, so let's put this in perspective. It was the Raiders, a 2-win team, but do you still see the Eagles as one of the best teams in the NFC?
Absolutely. Listen, they had a little skid. Every team has warts, so I'm not trying to minimize that they've struggled offensively at times. I totally get that. I'm from one of the best offenses in NFL history. Played it, fantastic, love to do it. Offense puts people's butts in the seats. Defense wins championships. That Eagles defense, with Jalen Carter coming back, is a NFL Super Bowl winning defense. Whether you like them, whether you hate them, whatever. What they did how they played against the Raiders told me everything I needed to see. We're going to run the rock. This is kind of the Seattle model, right? Seattle will run the ball. It's all about touches and running. It's not even about production. They ran the ball 47 times. And they only averaged like 3.5 a carry. Great. They threw it 15, but guess what? He's 12 of 15 with 3 touchdowns. Dropped another one. So, however that thing shakes out, when you look at the style of game against the Raiders, this is what I wanted to see out of the Eagles. When everybody told me the offense isn't sexy enough, it's not pretty enough, they don't do enough of this, they got to feed A.J. Brown. They go make A.J. Brown the leading receiver for a 3-game, and they lose them all. Now you get back to how you win. What's your philosophy of winning? That's run the football, reduce your risk profile, and play great defense and be in a shot to win at every game in the end of the fourth quarter. That's how the Eagles could do it. By the way, let me just put this out there. They have beaten already this season the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, and the Lions. Some pretty good teams. However they beat them, block field goal, they found ways to win. So don't act like they can't beat good teams because they beat them.
Stephen A., do you believe the Eagles are still in contention to be the best team in the NFC?
Well, listen, I mean, when you say contention, I mean, once the playoffs begin, everybody's one and done, okay? And so I understand it from that standpoint. I'm just looking at them right now as we approach the end of the regular season. Can they be viewed as the best team in the NFC? And I say no. I think the Los Angeles Rams are better. I think the Seattle Seahawks are better. The Bears, the way they handle the Philadelphia Eagles, I can't ignore that. They might be perceived as being better. And this is because of the Eagles' offense. Missed throws, absence of a running game, no cohesion whatsoever on too many occasions. I don't give a damn what happened against the Las Vegas Raiders. As far as I'm concerned, the only difference between playing the Raiders and a bye week is the fact that tackling is involved. That's it, because I consider the Raiders the equivalent of a bye week. That's how bad they've been this year. So I'm not going over that. You understand? They need to hand the reins to Tom Brady, which you can't do because he ain't going to give up his gig at Fox in order to run the whole organization. But they need to do something, no question, because it's just a bad state of affairs in Las Vegas. Usually in Las Vegas, they call it Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You've got people that are blaming the Raiders for not living by that because they've contaminated the rest of the league because of how awful they are when they show up in different places being as awful as they are. So it's one of those situations right now. I ain't going by any of that whatsoever. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. The Raiders are trash. They just are. It's just a fact of life. And they got to get Tom Brady more involved because Mark Davis and whatever decisions he makes, clearly he's not his daddy. He is not Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. No. How about please win? That's what we're gonna change it to with the Raiders. Please win, not just win. Please win, because they just don't do it. I ain't going by that. I'm going by what I've seen from the Eagles along the last multitude of weeks. Their defense will keep them in it. They are the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. They're getting everybody's best shot. But in the end, the offense has been too inconsistent for me to view them in that high regard right now.
I mean, I can't believe the Raiders caught all of those strays right there.
For real.
Man, Mark Davis.
How can you not believe that? I didn't tell a lie. I didn't tell a lie.
No,
He
Stephen A., listen.
He took multiple slaps.
Listen, with a haircut like that, it's fair to question everything that Mark Davis decides.
Oh, no.
No question about it. But here's what I'll say.
Good Lord.
With the Philadelphia Eagles, I will give them their respect as the reigning defending champs. But I ain't putting a ton of stock in a win over the Raiders. Let's look at the three losses that they had prior to that. You had a Monday night game against the LA Chargers where your quarterback turned it over 5 times.
Yep.
You let the Chicago Bears run roughshod over your team for damn near 300 yards on the ground. And then you blew a 21-0 lead to the Dallas Cowboys in a primetime game. When the Philadelphia Eagles are looking at the body of work for this season, they're not playing their best football as we're getting to the end of the regular season, which I think is the reason why we have so much cause for pause. And when you start bringing up the teams that they beat in the early part of the season, teams like the LA Rams, I will just say this. What I'm seeing right now from the Philadelphia Eagles is eerily similar to what we saw from the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024, where their offense didn't have a ton of big plays, where they didn't have a consistent ground game, and what happened when they faced the Eagles in the Super Bowl. It was BTA. If the Eagles go up against the Rams in the playoffs, I will tell you there will be a different story than what we saw in week 3 at the Lane. A different story. Based on what the Rams are doing, that 13 personnel, Sean McVay finding yet another market inefficiency in terms of how defenses try to defend his run schemes, I will tell you this. If the Eagles have to play this version of the LA Rams, it's going to be BTA like we saw the Eagles do the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59.
Okay.
So I am not sold that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a team that's going to defend their crown this year.
They're still trying to prevent from being the 2023 version of themselves.
Yeah.
3 games left. Don't rule out a collapse.
Commanders
I
twice.
understand
Commanders twice. And
but
Bills.
still.
And Bills.
Cowboys, are we tearing it down or are we building it up?
No, we're building this thing up. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys, I will say Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they have recovered much better than I anticipated from the Micah Parsons debacle early in the season. They went out and they solidified their front of their defense with Williams and Pickett. They got Wilson. Overshown came back. Now, is Eberflus going to be the guy, their defensive coordinator? They're going to move on for them? Are they going to bring in other players on the backside? Young offensive line, great young back. Yeah. Obviously, Dak's playing as well as any quarterback. They're going to probably have to franchise George Pickens. They're going to end up, CeeDee Lamb's already in spot. Ferguson's. So when you look at this team, they have the foundational pieces that excite you. And you go, man, looking forward to the future, this could be a very good football team.
Is George Pickens the part of that future?
Absolutely. I mean, I think at least in the short term, I'd be surprised. As mercurial, I think is the word we've all settled on for George Pickens. As mercurial as he is, I think that he's been so productive that it doesn't matter. I think a long-term.
What does that mean? You're signing him to a 4-year contract the way all these other guys are?
No.
Okay.
I think they've already invested in CeeDee Lamb. I think it's making that type of long-term investment in the receiver position for 2 guys is a risky maneuver.
So you're tagging him?
Yeah, I think that George Pickens definitely gets tagged at the end of this year. You keep him on the 1 year and see him show up. Oh, what I would do? Oh, yeah, that's fair point. Fair point. I'm sorry, never mind. Give George Pickens all the damn money.
You go.
All the players get paid all the time. However, I doubt that the Cowboys
Even you
actually
don't
do
feel that
way.
way.
I 100% do.
And I think to that point, if you do franchise tag George Pickens, it's almost like not only is it build it up for the Cowboys, it's a rush to build it as fast as you possibly can with Dak Prescott already being over 30 years old. You're trying to go win right now if you're the Dallas Cowboys, and it's the defensive side of the ball, figuring out how you cannot allow J.J. McCarthy to come in and put up 30 points against you.
It's all
side of the ball.
All them dudes are. It's you guys. It's you guys. Up front, they're all right. You guys. They got to fix you guys.
Maybe they can bring these guys back.
Yeah.
Guys,
be about the same.
You mean DBs? I hope. I hope you mean DBs.
they don't feel that far away. They don't feel that far away.
Fox is on one. He's on one.
They don't feel that far away. We'll see if they're able to.
Bye.